Hello. In this video, we're going to implement images section. If you click the section add button here, then you should see the option to generate the image. Let's click it. Then image gets generated. Of course, you can edit. Let's just change the image to the food image. Then you can replace the URL. And then of course, you can change the art text food image. Click update, then you should be able to see the updated image right here. And if you don't want to have image section, you can of course delete it, right? Okay, if you like this type of content, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Let's have fun. Now let's try to think about how we're gonna render the image, right? Of course, in order to render the image, we should create the schema. To start with that, I will go to schema.prisma. Here we have a text model, but we don't have an image for that. If you look at the section type here, we already have an image type created in the past video. Right underneath, I'll be creating new model called image. Of course, we need to have an ID and URL string. And then we want to have some default image, which is placeholder, but we're going to add later. And then we want art text, and by default, empty string. And caption for future, I just want a string. And again, default to empty string. On top of that, we need to consider the time this image generated and updated. So I'm going to have the timestamp, just a copying from one of the model. Let's go. Just to paste it here. What will be our placeholder image? I chose to go to Unsplash. If you go to Unsplash, they provided a lot of good images. You can search a placeholder image or something, right? This one looking really nice, but this is not free. Yeah, you can find anything that you can use. Maybe we can add some photo image, maybe. So food image. Nice. I'm just gonna copy image address here and then paste it here. This one will be my placeholder image, right? Oh, this one is not free. Sorry. Maybe let's use this one then. Is it free? Yeah, it's a free. Let's copy that. Let's replace. Looking good. And then yaki udon image. Let's capitalize. Alt text is very important for the accessibility. When image is not available somehow, this text gets shown on the web page, right? And the caption, let's not worry at this point. We're going to add it in the future video. Now, let's build a relationship with the section and image. I'm going to add the section ID here. It's going to be integer, of course. And then I'm going to have a section. And then this one will be section mode. We are going to have a relationship with the fields section ID and reference the ID of a section. Of course, we need to consider if we want to keep this record when the section gets deleted, right? I don't want to keep that. So on delete, cascade. We need to consider the relationship. When section type is an image, I'm going to keep only one image here. So question mark, and then I'm going to add the unique field here. To make the one-to-one relationship, you need to add the unique for sure, like a text section. Looking good. And we're going to map the name to section underscore ID. And then let's give the name of the table images. Looking okay to me. To reflect this, let's migrate, okay? Here, Prisma, migrate def. It model image. Looking good. Then let's quickly test it. npx Prisma Studio. Here we have image table. In the seed file, we're gonna create another section, okay? So here, I don't want to worry about checking it. I'm gonna see it where I'm debugging. So I'm gonna remove. Using this project, I'm gonna create one section, Prisma section, create. We need to pass the data that is necessary, right? This one, index, I'm gonna give, right? We already have index 0. And type will be image, okay? Since we have image type, we're gonna create the, oops, I think I've done something wrong, right? Oh, my bad. I missed the here, lower letter. This is what I've done wrong. So what I want to do is just deleting this migration and reset. So reset, and then I'll migrate again. Here, add image model. Should look okay. Let's check again. When I edit, oh, now it's showing the right thing. Here, we're gonna create the new record. We don't need to add anything since everything is optional. This one is still complaining because we have not passed the project ID here. Project ID is a project that we generated right above this guy. Then we're gonna just add a wait, and then I'm just gonna quickly check. Let's run the seeding file. If you want to run the seed file, just to reset the database, okay? Reset, and then refresh. Oh, come on. I think I will shut down the studio. Let's go back. Studio. Come on. Yeah, as you can see, my record is generated in the image model, right? It has everything that is necessary, right? And it has a relationship with the section. Looking good. Let's try to render this guy. We need to style a lot here. If you refresh it, currently this guy is empty because we don't have user interface to render the image section, right? Let's start to edit. Hopefully this one is visible. If you go to the section list, we have each section have a section list item, and then each item will be rendering dynamically. Here, I'm gonna have very similar logic here. So I'm just gonna copy. But in this case, if section type is image, and we have image here, image. Oh, sorry, I think I missed one more thing. We are fetching the data, right? Let's go up, and then let's go up. We are fetching the data in the page, right? Get project with all. We did not update this query. In this section, we need to include image as well. Image, true. That's why my type doesn't understand, because we generated type using this function. As you can see, we are using this function to generate the type. Let's go back. Sorry, my bad. So now you should be able to see the image right here. Looking good. When the section type is image, and then we have an image object, then we're going to render one component. The component name is image section. I need to change the component name here, right? But let's leave it. And then I want to pass the image object over here. Let's generate the component. In the project, I'll be creating folder called image section. And the slash, I'm gonna have image section. We should be able to create the component that is image section, okay? Alternatively, you can do tsrfc if you know what prop you're gonna get. then you can just use tsrfc, right? Of course, we're going to get the image, that is image from Prisma client. Looking good. Then you should be able to get image right here. To start with that, I'm going to add image.url here. Just let's check the URL if it's rendered correctly. Then here, let's import it. Awesome. We have a little bit of an issue here. Let me just try one more. In this case, we need to restart. Sometimes it does that. Restart. Make sure it's restarting. Okay, restart it. Let's refresh. Awesome. As you can see, we have image URL. Looking good, looking good. We need to think about what is the semantic way of structuring our HTML. I'm gonna have figure, and then inside there, I'll be having the image tag, right? Image from next image. But of course, we need to change this guy. This one will be type, and then this one will be as image type, just to avoid naming conflicts. Looking good. So here, we should be able to pass all the necessary information, which is image.source, right? Let's destructure here. It's going to be alt, caption, maybe URL. This one is good. I'm gonna say source is URL, and we need to have alt width. Let's give maybe 1200 height, 1200. Then we're gonna have thick caption. Looking good. We are facing one error. This application is limiting the URL that we can use for the image here. We just needed to go to documentation, and then we just needed to add this guy to our next config. Then we can just add images and then remote patterns. And we are going to give an array, and we give one option that is, you know what? You can specify what URL that you can use for images, but in my case, I'm gonna just accept all. But of course, this is not good practice. Then error should be gone. Let's check. Awesome. And now our image is showing up, looking good. Awesome. Now let's do something with this image here. To start with that, we are gonna have some outline like this component. Hence, here I'm gonna have the div tag here, and then I'm gonna start a class name. When it's hovered, I will have outline. Let's use the CN because this have a lot of classes that will be used. When it's hovered, then I'm gonna have outline, and outline option is 4. So now let's take a look. Yeah, do you see? So let me just zoom up. When it's hovered, it's gonna look like that. Then when we click this guy, we want to make it edit mode and show toolbar here. Like this text shows toolbar at the top, right? So I'm gonna add a small state, const use state. This one will be holding boolean false. Name of the state will be is edit mode, and set is edit mode. Since we're using the user state, we gotta make a client component. Client, then this error should go away. Looking good. Now it's not a button yet. Let's convert it. I'm gonna have a button. Here, I'm gonna add on click and const handle edit mode. It's going to be a function, and then we'll be passing over here. Looking good. And then we are gonna change to set its edit mode to true. And then when is edit mode, we're gonna make the outline thicker. Here, let's just add the style. So when it's edit mode, then we're gonna have outline and outline primary. Let's take a look. Currently we are having that, right? Looking good. Somehow we need to have canceling out the edit mode, but we don't have the mechanism. You can use on blur, and then you can just cancel it out. Set is edit mode to false. It's gonna work, but my concern is later we're gonna have toolbar at the top here, and we should be able to handle it properly. That's why I'm not using this. Instead, I'll be using use outside click, the hook that we generated the other day. So this guy is accepting two different arguments. One is the refs, these guys, and it's gonna accept the callback here. In the callback, we're gonna set its edit mode to false. When I click outside here anywhere, then we're gonna make the edit mode to false. Let's do that. I'm gonna create the one ref, const ref. This one I'm gonna name it to maybe wrapper ref here, and then user ref. This one will be HTML button element by default, and then we're gonna pass the ref correctly. Then we need to pass the ref specify. We can have alert here to see clicked outside. When I click outside, it says clicked outside. This is the what I just implemented. Let's remove it. Now when I have this section edit mode, then we're gonna render one more thing. Here we're gonna have another div tag. The div tag will be holding another element, that is menu bar. Menu bar, we already have a component. We're gonna have a menu bar item that we created. Menu bar is showing up here. What I would do is creating the icon button, maybe pencil, like the other one, pencil. Then we should see the pencil icon right here. Let me just quickly leave some notes here. So toolbar here, okay, and then this one is the wrapper of the image section. I want to make it absolute. Referencing this div tag, I'm gonna give class name relative, and the class name that is absolute right here. They give the top 0, left 0 to start with that. Of course, we want to bring it up a little bit. Let's give them negative top, maybe 12s. Yeah. Okay, maybe 14. Yeah, we need to consider this border looking good. But I want it to show up only when this image edit mode. Here, I'm gonna give edit mode, okay? If it is edit mode, then we show the menu bar. Otherwise, don't show. Let's do that. Disappear. When I click here, menu bar disappear, right? That is because we're clicking outside of the refs that we give it to. Now I'm gonna create another one. This one will be toolbar ref. I'm gonna have the section wrapper that can be reused in multiple places. Let's give the toolbar ref that is HTML div element this time. This toolbar is using div tag, I know already. So let's give the ref here. Ref that is toolbar ref. And then let's give the toolbar to this use outside click. Then now if I click outside, oh, it's having a little bit of problem. Let's refresh one more time. Yeah, now it's staying, looking good. When I click outside of this toolbar or the image wrapper, then we're gonna cancel the edit mode. Looking good, looking good. So now when user clicks this, I want to show the modal. Okay, so now let's just take a look this way. This one is not taking full screen, which is no good. The image to be the full width of the container. Let's debug quickly. Yeah, so debug relative is having full width, but this image is not. Let's go down one by one. So from the button, it is not full screen. Let's keep the width full. This one is the simplest. Next the goal is we want to open up the modal when we click this guy. Let's go to the ShadCN dialog, okay? Dialog. Then you can just simply copy paste whichever works best for you. So we're gonna copy this guy, and then right underneath we're gonna paste it, and then replace the menu bar inside of the trigger, and then we're gonna give the trigger as a child. Looking good. Of course, we need to replace the import properly, unless it has done correctly. So looking good. Dialog header, let's delete it. Looking good. If you look at it now, then it's going to open up the modal. But this is definitely not what we want. We're going to go to the images section inside here. So let's change the content quickly. Here, I'm going to do edit image, change the description, maybe add image URL to replace. Okay. Then we're going to have some form inside here. Right under dialog header, I'm going to have form from Next.js. In the form, we're going to have the label from component UI. And then we needed to have the text area. Oh, I have not installed it yet. Let's go to ShadCN, text area. Yeah, we're going to install this guy. Let's install it. Once we install, then we should be able to import, right? Looking good. Then we're gonna just to keep the action attributes just temporary like this. Let's take a look. As you can see, we're closing things down here, right? So which is not good. To prevent this type of behavior, I'm gonna give ref to here too. This one will be ref, that is portal ref. So let's give it to outside click hook here. This one will be deep tag 2. And then the portal refs. And then let's give it over here. Hopefully this one prevent closing down. Oh, now it's fine. Looking good. So unless I close it, it's gonna remain open. So looking good. When I click outside, it's gonna look like that. This is what I want exactly. I'm gonna have a label that is URL. This one is HTML4 URL. Give ID that is URL, so that when I click this label, my text area gets focused. Let's wrap it with a div tag here, because we can give the spacing a little bit better with that. And then another div tag that is having the label, that is the art text, and then text area. But this one is for art text. I'm gonna give HTML4 the alt, and then ID that is alt. We need to have the alt text and the URL render to here. To do that, I'm gonna have default value to be URL showing up already. Yeah, of course we need to style it, right? And the default value that is up here, showing up correctly, right? But it's overflowing somehow. We need to fix it. Let's give it a name first before we forget. Okay, so name is name. Let's fix this guy here. Let's give the class name that is break all. then it should fix it. Now let's add some button. Here's right here. I'm gonna have dialog footer and dialog close button. That is the edge child. Let's give the button that is for closing. Okay, so here, close. This one I don't want to keep the primary. So very end outline looking good. Let's give another button that is for updating. Here, I'm gonna give button. I don't want to shut down after saving update. Let's try to give some gap properly. Here, let's give the class name space y 1 rem. Yeah, looking good. And then let's give some spacing to those two too, right? You can give it here or you can give the margin bottom. Totally up to you where you want to give it to. But in my case, I'll try to give it here too. Space y, maybe 2. Looking good. Let's just copy paste. And then the next thing is let's make it a little bit thicker. So class name, maybe font, semi-bold, maybe. Yeah, semi-bold is okay. Semi-bold is good. And then let's give the class name to here too. Looking good. I think we need to add a UI to add the image. Let's go there. So what I would do is going to section, add a button, maybe. Section button, option dialog. We have, let me just quickly check our section options. So here is the one that we need to create the UI. We have a button that has text. This is the same guy. Let's just copy. I don't need to write from the scratch. The button styling the same plain size known on click. We are going to update the image. Render click. It's going to receive the type, which is section type. We're passing the image. Then what else? So this one is good. So then good. We need to change the image icon here. Let's give the plus icon. Yeah, this one is good. And then let's give text +2, okay? So here, maybe text, it doesn't have it. So let's go to check the Lucid icon. Here, let's check the, some plus. This one, list plus is good, or this guy. You know what? Let's just have list plus. I'm gonna give that. So here, list plus. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think it's okay. And we need to change the text to here. Here, the image right here. Now, if I just click, something is created, but it doesn't show anything. That is because our action code has some problem here. Let's add a text. Text is fine. Let's add one more text. Text is fine, but image is not because it doesn't show anything. Let's check the logic in the create section action. We're going to accept the index and the project ID and then type here, right? The type is image. Project ID is 1, as you can see here. Index is whatever we are receiving. We can debug to here. We have a transaction that update the indexes, all the consecutive indexes, which is good. And then we're gonna create it. Index type, project type. Oh, as you can see, we are creating the text, not the image. We gotta create the image, and then create default to 1. Let's take a look. So now image, it's generating the image, but in this case, we're creating the text and then image both, which is not correct in this case. I'm gonna give some conditional properties here. Here, I'm gonna wrap with the object and then destructure. So this way we can add some conditions here. Here, looking good. But I want to add this text object only when I have the type that we are receiving up here, which is our enum that is enums dot section type that is text. Okay. Then we're going to create the text. And then this image is the same thing. Let's move in. So when the type is image, then we're going to create the image. Okay. Oh, someone object opening is gone. Yeah. I think I did something wrong here. Oh, we need round the bracket here, right? Round the bracket here. This one gonna be opening round. Okay, so looking good. So now let's try again. Here, let's, migrate reset. And then let's try again. So create, awesome. So it creates an image now, looking good. This one is done. Looking good, right? Yeah, I think so. So now it's time to edit the image. I don't have action yet. Let's go back to our, the not section option, not seed. Let's close all the thing down. So I'm going to create the form here and then send the action here. The form we are looking at is what we generated here. But this component is really, really huge in my opinion. I want to separate this form to different components first. Here, I'm going to create one form, image update. Of course, we need to refactor a lot here. Image update form.tsx. Let's create that. Image update form. So, looking good. And then I'm going to cut this guy. I guess this much. Looking good. And then let's import. Make sure everything is imported correctly. Dialog footer is good. Text area is good. Dialog close is not. It gotta be from this guy. And then let's delete it. Label is not correct, right? And the form is not correct. The URL is not correct. So let's get it from component to label. And then form is from next to forward, right? Let's just shut down a little bit. URL and then alt, those things we need to accept it from the parent. Let's do that. Type props. Let's accept the whole image. Image from Prisma client. Image, this structure. The alt for you. And then we'll be accepting the form here. Okay. So the form will be right here. Okay. We are missing the props here, right? We need to pass whole image. So we need to destructure, but at the same time, we want to pass the whole image. I'm gonna do this way. So destructure image, and then let's just remove the destructure here. Looking good. Then we can pass this image, the whole thing, to directly straight in here. Okay. So then now we need to create the action. This time, I'll be using the use action state. Let's have a use action state. We're gonna have action, but we need to pass some generic type, which is currently unknown. I'm gonna give the state type that is action state that we created the other day, and image record. And we are gonna receive the form data as a payload. Here, if you take a look, second one is what we want. The payload that we'll be sending will be the form data. Looking good. This guy will be returning the couple of things. 3 things. One is, in our case, is the action state that returns those. So let's accept it first. Data, error, and the message. It's time to pass the action. All right. The action that I want to create will be looking like the const update image. Okay. It's going to be async function. Of course, we will have user server later, in the file. And then we're going to get the form data. Let's create some abstract here. To update the image, we need ID. So ID that is from image ID. The next one will be receiving state, exactly the same as what we are passing here. Then and the third argument will be form data, which is payload. Form data, looking good. Then the return type will be the promise. Action state, that includes the image. Here, ID, we need to bind it first. The way we can do is const update image with ID here, and then update image.bind. Of course, we need to pass the null first. Before we forget, we need to do that. So here, I'm going to take out the ID and then pass it here. So we're updating the image with the ID. Payload will be sent automatically from this guy. Sorry, I forgot action and then is pending, right? So these are the all three elements that use action state returns. So pass the action right here. And then is pending, we're going to use it to show some loading state. For now, let's hide it. Okay. The second argument that it's expecting is the initial state. I'm going to pass the empty object. Okay. All the errors are gone, looking good. So now let's create the action file. So inside of the lib folder, I'm going to create image here. So image and the slash actions.ts. Let's copy paste that. Here, let's cut and accept. Move the use server to the top. Then I'm going to export. Now I'm going to build it. First of all, let's write what we need to do. We needed to validate the form data. Second thing is if the image record is existing. If not, send it for a form. Otherwise, let me just shut down. Otherwise, we need to update the record, right? Update the record. Okay. Then send the 200 with the data. And if any error happens while interacting with DB or, something, then send 500 the internet server error. That is my logic here. Let's do one by one. We need to create some validation using Jot. I'm going to use Jot. So here, jet.object, jet, come on, Jot. Here, I'm going to have object that validates URL plus the alt text URL. This one, Jot.string. And this one should not be empty. If empty happens, then we're going to send a message saying that this field is required. Okay. This one, non-empty, is the same as the mean one. Looking good. And then the next one will be the alt text. This one must be string for sure, but optional. Let's just give the name here. I'm going to say update image schema. Using this, we're going to validate it. Let's do first thing first. So validate with this schema, save a purse. Inside here, we're going to accept things as necessary. With the form data that we received here, it's gotta be small letter. Then I'm gonna get the URL. This name gotta match with the form, the name attribute to here, okay? Next thing is the alt text form data dot get alt. Looking good. This one I would call it validation, okay? If the validation is not successful, then I'm gonna return with the code that is status code dot bed request, and then the error, the validation here. So validation and the error. Let's just send the whole error then, and then see what is going to happen. Maybe we can have some toast first. I'm going to have dependencies, right? Data, error, message, and everything. So message. So I'm going to have some if check. If data is existing, then what it means is successful. Then I can send the toast message, a success message. But if error happening, toast dot error, we're going to debug later. So error dot message. I'm not sure if this message is existing because this guy will return something else maybe. Let's check. Sorry for taking too long here. And then let's test one more time here. Then expected string received and looking good. So here, let's give URL properly and then alt properly. And then here, we should have the name that is alt here. Name is not alt, right? So the name should be alt here. Yeah, so that was the, let's try one more. Yeah, so looking good. Awesome. So now let's continue, right? So here we're gonna check if the record exists here if, not if. So we need to send the request, send the query. Here we're gonna find unique using the ID that we have received, okay? So where ID is equal to the same as this, const image. If image does not exist, then what it means, there something is wrong. We need to let client know that we could not find the record, and then error will be image not found, cannot update. Okay, so and the next one is, this one is done, right? The next thing is we need to update the record. So here await Prisma dot image dot update, where our ID is the same as what we are receiving at the top. Then we're going to pass the data to update it. Data will be the URL that we are receiving is validation.data.url. The alt is the same thing. So alt. Then this one will be updated. And then we're going to send the data. The status code is okay, not error. Data will be the updated, and the message will be successfully updated image. Looking good. If we have any internal server error while we are doing that, then we need to handle this separately, right? Why it's complaining? Image refers to a value but being used as a type here, right? Typo. Image, we have not imported it yet. Image from client, looking good. So a lot of business logic here. Then what I will do is wrapping here. If any error happens internally with the database, I'm gonna have a try and catch. Then we need to send the internal server error here. So here I'm gonna do error, that is error, and then we're gonna return the error here. That's going to be an internal server error with the message something went wrong while updating image. I think we got all the business logic covered. We may need it more, but I think I'm happy with this one for now. So let's see. So let's do one by one. URL, I'm gonna cut it and send it. The field is required, right? But this one I want to render here, not there. The way you can do is, if the code here, and if the code is not equal to the status code dot bed request, then we're gonna send the toast. If there's any error, then we can have a message right underneath it here. So here I'm gonna have message, so maybe p tag, and then here the error, the message, if we have an error here, error, and that, then what I would do is changing the color of the text. Text will be destructive. Yeah, field is required. Let's make it smaller. So here the text extra small. Okay, looking good. For now, let's leave this way. So this one is good. The field is required. URL is required. Let's change the URL is required. So URL is required. Looking good. Let's try one more. URL is required. Looking good. Looking all good. So one thing is done. And then the next thing is when we couldn't find a record. Let's try to mimic that. Record, maybe this one, let's underscore it. We can give the random ID here. It says image not found, cannot update. We need to give the more logic here, and status code, and the code is equal to status code dot value request only. The rest we're gonna just show here. Yeah, so image not found, cannot update, looking good. And then let's delete that. And then the next error is the internal server error. So let's break it. We need to break it here. That is wrong, right? Yeah, so something went wrong. Okay, so this one is good. So let's change the image then. Here, let's go. Maybe change the different photo image. Maybe change it to the solid. So here, copy image address, and then paste it. Okay, saving it. But the problem here is we have missed one thing. So here we need to revalidate the path. That is this page. You need to give the project and the slash project ID. But we don't have project ID, so we need to include the section. True. Then we have project ID. So updated dot section dot project ID. So looking good. So if we do that, now it's changing it. So let's just bring it back. So with a different URL, let me try. So maybe we can try with this image here. Copy image address and the paste here. Okay, it's changing. So awesome. And then we can change the R to text too. R to text, let's change it. So now, many different fools for testing. Okay. Typo, but don't worry. Okay, let's do small improvement here. Small improvement that I want to do is using the is pending here. So is pending, we're gonna have some here, the update. This one, I'm gonna update it. So when is pending, then I'm gonna say updating. And then when is pending, I want to show one icon. When is pending, I'm gonna show loader. Oh, sorry, loader icon. Let's try. Okay. Yeah. So looking good, looking good. So then let's quickly test things properly. So we were able to create the image, right? Looking good. And then we were able to update alt text to maybe random gibberish. Okay. And then when we open up again, so looking at the exact same thing, and then we can delete. Okay. So looking good. Yeah, of course, this is not everything. We have a lot to refactor in our code base. So this one is definitely not good. Let's take some pause and then I'm gonna refactor. Okay.